Hey guys, so this is the dilemma that I'm facing right now. What's going on? Basically, I feel like there's a rift between what I say and how it's interpreted. I'm very logical. I'm also very aware of certain cues. When you're aware of the ever-present reality of God, everything has its place in context, so it doesn't need explanation. I say things sometimes, maybe on a regular basis, maybe sometimes more than others, I've been told, that seem to require an explanation from certain people who are listening to me. And it's very hard to explain because it's like explaining the subjectivity of my experience. Why am I talking? Why am I talking about how trees grow better with water and the seed that lands in moist soil sprouts into a great one? Why am I talking about how the sun is always shining because even when there are clouds, it's right behind it? Why am I saying things like that to people that are metaphorical? People that I love, people that I care about deeply. I felt originally a sadness in me that I wasn't understood, and I let go of it. And now I'm only concerned of losing them, those people. If I didn't love them, I would affirm my own reality. I would feel secure in my own explanation of the world through my speech and my talking patterns, my movements, subtle cues. Even if the subject of NLP, which I studied intensely in the past before a mental breakdown, is brought up, it brings discomfort in these people. They ask me things like if it's a trigger. I think it's a trigger for them. But I don't have the knowledge or the knowingness to say that that's true, and I make no assumptions. All I know is that who I am talks a certain way. Talks about pictures, patterns, metaphors. I was talking about a picture that I had of myself once, and in this picture I saw myself, and I was saying things in a certain way that had a certain meaning. They were derived from a place that was beyond me, and other people were learning, because as soon as they became aware of this reality, from the observations, the tonality, the emphasis on words, the subtle things, this is all basically something from the field of NLP. Now, just to go into a little bit, it's my personal opinion that many of the people who are in the field of hypnosis and NLP are very controlling megalomaniacs, because I've heard a lot of their I studied their body of work, and I saw what kind of people they were, at least my perception of them, right? Nonetheless, it was an obsession of mine to an unhealthy degree, and it created well, there's no causality, so I can't say it didn't create, isn't that true? But it was preceding a period of time when I had a mental illness. Now, no doubt this mental illness was severe. I could talk about it instead of labeling it blanketly as a mental illness and say that it was a choice. I could say that I was in, to some degree, control of my actions, that it was a learning process, that a lot of the negative, the really harmful things that I did, some of the things that I would say I can say they were because I shared in another post that during this period of time I cut my finger off. So yeah, I can definitely say that. So I can say that it was negative, and I can also say that I can blanketly call it mental illness, because to me, that to the extreme to which I took these behaviors, who can really say, the original cause? But that's the past, that's behind me. I feel like these actions, what they did more than affect me, as I don't have these propensities now, was sort of traumatize people around me, which I understand because I relate and empathize. So bringing up NLP, and I feel bad even talking about this or mentioning my past because it's not a relevant factor in my life anymore, but bringing up NLP as a trigger for them and speaking in a certain way, if I talk about my past or if I talk about this picture I had of myself in the future, it's just sort of a picture of myself speaking to people, learning from observation of myself. Yeah, it has a lot of meanings. It has a lot of meanings. Can you guys follow this thought stream? It's a pattern. It's like a song. You are like a song. You are universal consciousness like a song. I share my past sometimes because I'm not ashamed of it. As unmainstream as it was, as different, as antisocial as it was, I'm not afraid of talking about it. But what bothers me now is the fact that there's this rift, it seems like, between me and certain people, and I'm not sure what to do about it. A lot of stigma comes with this, yeah. So I can see how easy it is to categorize someone like me into a certain area of thinking, and I don't fault anyone for that. But who I am, what I am, talks in metaphors. Who I am, what I am, is aware of subtle body language cues and responds accordingly, seeing what's really going on, verbally and non-verbally. It gets the context, not just the content, and responds accordingly. And what I've done for the sake of my commitments, attachments, and what I think of as love, is made the decision to modify my behavior. But it is who I am and what I am, so I know what's going to come out, and I don't want it to cause discomfort in these people. I don't know if it's going to come out, but there's a likelihood of the chance that it could. So this is really where I am, and I'm at a loss of what to do. And I suppose what brings me relief is when I stop thinking about it, you know. But it's when I am in the moment, when I am not thinking, when I am just responding It seems like I'm just living life. It seems so fluid and innocent and natural. It's at those times when I'm told that I'm not making sense or that I'm losing my mind. So, okay, well, I hope everyone has a happy new year. I do care about you all, and I wish you the best. Thank you for listening to my story and some of the things that are happening in my life right now. So, thank you all for being here, and Happy New Year.